Unit 4. Emily Dickinson. Reading. If I can stop. If I can stop one heart from breaking, I shall not live in vain. If I can ease one life the aching, or cool one pain, or help one fainting robin unto his nest again, I shall not live in vain. Paraphrase. In the poem, If I Can Stop One Heart from Breaking by Emily Dickinson, the poet says that she would not be selfish, and that she would go and help someone before their heart was to break. She talks about how if she could ease someone's life the aching or cool someone's pain and make them feel painless. An example of this would be in sentence 5. She would want to help the robin and put it back into its nest. Her deep sensitivity for welfare of others, even before personal self, is the message conveyed in the poem. It is a message of kindness, a compassion that one human should afford another human without the need for display or drama. A life that is devoted to another's welfare is a life well lived.
Listening. Between interviewer and Claire Lovell. In today's program, we are looking at the poet Emily Dickinson. With me is the author Claire Lovell, who has written a book which calls Emily the first modern poet. Claire, Emily Dickinson was born in 1830, so why do you call her modern? CL, well, traditionally, poems usually have 3 or more verses, and in every verse, there are words that rhyme at the end of some of the lines. Today, modern poems do not always follow these rules. They may have either no words that rhyme, or words that partly rhyme, for example young and song. Many modern poets do not really follow any rules at all. But their poems work very well. So did Emily Dickinson's poems break the usual rules? CL, well, they were certainly different to most poems at that time. Many of her poems had very short lines, no titles, and sometimes no punctuation. So are her poems challenging to read? CL, no, they aren't. Most of them were changed by her publishers so that they are more like normal poems. Tell me about her life. CL, when she was a child, she was good at both writing and playing the piano. But she was an unusual adult. She always wore white clothes, and she spent nearly all her life at home, where she wrote her poems. She spent about half of her time writing poems, and the other half helping with the housework, as her mother was very ill. She had a few friends, but she didn't like to see them often. She preferred to write long letters to each friend instead. She wrote a lot of poems, but most of them were not published until after she died in 1886. Did she marry? CL, no. We think that 2 men might have asked her to marry them, but she accepted neither of their offers. Which of her poems is most famous? CL, that is difficult to say. Only a few of her poems were published when she was alive, but you can read all of her 1,800 poems today. My favorite poem is called If I Can Stop. It is about how important it is to help people in life. It's very moving. That sounds lovely. I'm going to read that poem next. Thank you for your time. Definitions. Aching pain. Alive, living, not dead. Angleworm, a long, thin animal, with no bones and no legs. It lives in soil. Break a promise, the person who doesn't fulfill or keep his promise. Break a record to achieve a new record in a sport. Break rules, not follow the rules, not do what you should. Break heart, make someone very unhappy. Break the law, disobey the law, not follow the law. Challenging, interesting but difficult to do. Ease, make something less difficult. Fainting, becoming unconscious for a short time. Halves, the plural of half. In vain, without success. Moving, making you feel strong emotions, especially sadness. Robin, a small brown bird with an orange front.
Expressions with break. Break, breaks, broke, broken, breaking. Break the rules. Emily Dickinson's poems often broke the rules. Break someone's heart. It broke my heart to hear about the earthquake. Break the record. He walked up the mountain so quickly that he broke the record. Break a promise. I never break a promise. I said I'd help you, so I will help you. Break the law. You can go to prison if you break the law. Break the ice. I broke the ice before the meeting as everyone was nervous. Break loose, free. The cattle had broke loose during the night. Break for lunch, coffee. We broke for lunch at about 12:30. Adjectives starting with a. Asleep, awake, alive, abnormal, active, aggressive, afraid, affluent, absolute, acute, adult, amateur, aware, alert, awful. Please keep quiet, the baby is asleep. My grandfather is still alive. He is not sleeping, he is awake. Adverbs starting with a. Ashore, ahead, along, always, around, aside, away, abroad, aboard, above, about, across, alike, all, almost, alone, after. We walked along the beach and watched the swimmers. The boat went slowly because there were rocks ahead. The flight attendant welcomed us aboard. Vocabulary. A card. A child. A piece of. A present. Accept. Ache. Aching. Advice. Ahead. Alive. Along. Angleworm. Ashore. Asleep. Awake. Museum. Nest. Novel. Offer. Pain. Painful. Paraphrase. Park. Partly. Partner. Passengers. Piece. Phrase. Piano. Plural. Bakers. Bite, bit, bitten. Blonde. Bones. Both. Break. Brown. Burden. Burdens. Cafe. Castle. Challenge. Challenger. Challenging. Character. Childhood. Poem. Poet. Poetic. Poetically. Poetry. Promise. Promote. Publication. Quantity. Raw. Record. Rescue. Rescuer. Review. Reviewer. rhyme. Children, colorful, comment, company, conscious, cool, crash, dead, dentist, distribute, drinks, each, earthquake, is, emotional, emotionally, rhythm, robin, rocks, rules, rhythm, sad, sadness, safe, sandstorm, sandwich, selfishness, separate, simple, singular, skill, skillful, emotions, engineer, expression, faint, fellow, fine, focus on, follow, half, happiness, happy, headache, heart, hurt, in halves, smile, somewhere, song, staff, subject, success, successful, summarize, support, swimmers, ticket, tolerant, tooth, teeth, tour guide, tourism, tourist, individual, instead of, interesting, laugh, laughter, law, lawful, lighten, lovely, medicine, member, message, morals, moving, tradition, traditional, traditionally, t-shirt, unconscious, unhappy, useful, useless, vain, verse, war, waste, words, worm.
Prepositions, idioms, expressions. A football team. A lovely poem. A perfect holiday. A plane crash. Accept an offer. Agree with. Alive or dead. At the age. At the baker's. At the end of. Blonde hair. Break, heart. Break a promise. Break down. Break out. Get to. Go ahead. Go along. Go ashore. Great for. In halves. In other words. In the age. In the end. Lose matches. Make noise. Neither dash nor. On the beach. On the internet. On the shelf. Break the law. Break the rules. Come down. Cool one's pain. Cut down. Cut into. Depend on. Do well. Ease one's life. Ease the pain. Either, or. Fall asleep. Feel weak. Focus on. On TV. Play the piano. Positive comments. Rhyme with. Stop from. Strong emotion. Travel around. Wake up. Walk across. Walk along. Walk up to. Waste his life. Win matches. Write about.